Hello, my name is Bob Gatt, and I am the mayor of Novi, your mayor. I was first elected to Novi City Council 12 years ago. 4 years later, I was re-elected to council, and in 2011, I had the distinct privilege of being elected mayor of this great city named Novi. In 2013, the voters overwhelmingly re-elected me as mayor with 86% of the vote. And now, I stand before you asking you to let me continue being mayor of this great city that I love so much. Before being elected to City Council, I spent almost 30 years working to protect you and your family as a Novi police officer. One day after you elected me mayor of Novi, I made this proclamation to you. I said, I pledge to work every day with the same relentless focus. How can I make Novi a better and a safer community? What can I do to protect you and your family? Now, 4 years later, I'm proud to report to you again that I've kept my promise to you. Novi is a better and a safer community than it was 4 years ago when I became mayor. Both our fire and our police departments consistently rate much above average in national surveys and are modeled by other agencies around the state. Novi is a safe community. And to make our city better, I've stayed focused. My focus is on the citizens and their changing needs and desires, focused on fiscal health, reducing debt, reducing liability, and reducing your taxes. Focused on building community and making your quality of life better, not just through development, but through spirit at events such as Light Up the Night, the Michigan State Fair, concerts at our parks, tournaments at our ball fields. Focused on constant improvement in our roads, sidewalks, trails, parks. In other words, I'm focused on you, the citizens of Novi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that I've kept my promise to you. Novi is safer and Novi is better. Your quality of life is better since you chose me as your mayor 4 years ago. As I mentioned earlier, for almost 3 decades, I served you and the community as a Novi police officer. Perhaps you were one of the many people who knew me then simply as Officer Bob. I might have taught your children, your grandchildren, or maybe even you about the 8 ways to say no to drugs and violence in the DARE program. Today, in addition to being Novi's mayor, I'm the manager of a large Oakland County unit of government. I work closely with Brooks Patterson and his staff to help keep costs down while maintaining my focus on keeping our communities safe. There are many goals to achieve in the future for our great city. I'll work to ensure that our growing population of senior citizens have their needs met, including transportation and parking. Under my leadership, the city of Novi has reduced fees for senior transportation and have more than doubled the number of handicapped parking spaces available at the Civic Center. We can't let our seniors down. We have to protect and watch out for our senior citizens. Let me summarize why I want to remain as your mayor and why I'm asking for your vote. City services are excellent. Houses are once again being built. The police and fire departments have never been better. Public safety remains my top priority. Response times are faster than ever. Senior services are at an all-time high. Our finances and tax base continues to be strong, and most importantly, the sense of belonging to the Novi community remains as strong as ever. That perhaps is my biggest achievement. I've been part of Novi long before it became the sophisticated shopping mecca and the location of million-dollar homes. Anybody can grow, that's easy. Sustained growth while maintaining a sense of community is not easy. That takes leaders who are sensitive to the needs of people, both city employees as well as residents. That takes school kids knowing they can always go to Officer Bob. In my 40 years in Novi, I've never known us to be politically motivated on anything. On the contrary, we are Novi motivated on everything. We cannot allow that to change. Anyone who tells you that Novi isn't the greatest city in Michigan, perhaps the entire USA, is wrong. Please, on Tuesday, November 3rd, or on your absentee ballots, vote for the only candidate with the experience, knowledge, and leadership necessary to be your mayor. Vote for me, Bob Gatt. Thank you and good day.
Hello, my name is Gwen Markham. I'm a member of the Novi City Council, and I want to be Novi's next mayor. My husband Bruce and I have lived here in Novi for 20 years, having raised our sons Matt and Tim. I love this city and the friends that we've made. I've thought a lot about Novi, watching it grow from 35,000 people to almost 60,000 today. I spent 2 terms on the Planning Commission, including 1 term as chairperson when the 2005 master plan was adopted. I believe in a balanced planning approach between commercial and industrial development, quality of life for families in the residential areas, and local businesses. I was taught the power of a fiscally responsible and open government by my dad, Oakland County's first county executive, Daniel T. Murphy. He worked with his colleagues across the aisle to incorporate many of the foundations underpinning Oakland County today. He believed in partnerships between businesses, residents, and local governments. He taught me that real success in government comes when you work on issues that cross political lines and make a difference in people's lives. I also learned to participate in my community, no matter where or at what level. In Novi, I've served as past president of the Friends of the Novi Theaters, and I've been an accompanist in the Northville School District music program. As a city council member, I'm on the Walkable Novi Committee, and I serve as Novi's delegate to the Southeastern Michigan Council of Governments. I believe Novi's biggest challenges for the future are associated with rapid growth. Traffic congestion continues to be a problem, and keeping our roads in good condition is difficult. After the residents passed the road bond in 2012, we've been repairing and rebuilding our local roads, but that's not the only challenge. We need a long-term plan to balance future growth while continuing to provide the city services that residents want and deserve. We're expected to eventually grow to 80,000 people. Now is the time for an evaluation of our future needs. This year, the city is updating its master plan, and it has a transportation component within it. Let's find out what Novi really needs. Let's engage as many voices as possible. Let's talk to the malls, Providence Hospital, and the Suburban Showplace, and especially let's talk to the residents and other local businesses. I'm confident that if we work together and listen to what people say, we will find solutions that improve Novi and position us for continued growth. We will also be planning parks and recreation services and facilities for the future. Public spaces and programming that provide healthy options for all ages are important. Facilities upgrades at Lakeshore Park and improvements in areas near the residential neighborhoods should be explored. A few neighborhoods like Village Oaks have a park with a permanent facility, but most other subdivisions have only an empty lot if they have any park space at all. Can we serve the neighborhoods better? As we finish connecting the sidewalks and trails, let's coordinate with neighboring communities like Northville and Farmington Hills so that we can further connect with regional trail systems and nearby parks. It's time we took steps also toward a more sustainable future in both energy consumption and natural resource protection. I'll be asking my colleagues to support the pursuit of solar, wind, and other alternatives to fossil fuels whenever possible in city buildings and operations. Our ordinances also need to reflect the best practices for protection of water and other natural features as new developments move forward. In conclusion, Novi's continued growth requires new strategies and openness to change. We can value the past and plan for the future. Our fiscal health is strong, our property tax rate is one of the lowest in the area, and we are set to continue on a course of planned improvements within a balanced budget every year. The residents tell me they want respectful and informed debate on important issues, and I will lead Novi with a spirit of collaboration, not conflict. When I take office, I will reinstate the mayor's office hours to hear from residents. I will reach out to businesses and civic leaders to hear their concerns and for Novi's future and how best to manage our growth. I'll encourage an exchange of ideas at the council table. I want to solve problems together. I need your vote to make it happen, and I ask that you put your confidence in me and vote for Gwen Markham for Novi Mayor on November 3rd. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Brian Burke, candidate for Novi City Council, the 2-year term. The seat being vacated by Doreen Popard. First, let me thank SWAC for hosting the Candidate Spotlight and allowing you to get a little insight on me. Here's a brief background on Brian Burke. I'm a long-time tax-paying Novi resident who, along with my wife Lori, have raised 5 children, all through the Novi school system. She and I are both very proud of their accomplishments. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, having spent 6 years specializing in surface operations, intelligence, and air intercept control. I've worked for Tom Holzer Ford since 1987, and for more than 28 years, I've been there time and time again for hundreds and hundreds of Novi residents, consulting them on the best decisions for themselves, their children, parents, and even their grandchildren. I'm humbled by this level of trust they have in me and pledge never to compromise it. I'm the best qualified candidate to fill this partial term. Let me tell you why. I've been involved with the City of Novi since 2002, serving on many boards and commissions. Included are the Novi Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Commission, where along with my fellow commissioners, we increased the inventory of passive and active parklands. We implemented a comprehensive plan to make all parklands and facilities ADA compliant so that all residents, regardless of their disability, could enjoy the park system equally. We worked to improve senior transportation within the community. We removed all diseased and dead ash trees from city property and residential street boulevards. We worked on capital improvement projects to be submitted for the annual city budget. I also served on the Novi Planning Commission. Here, I made sound, logical decisions on projects being presented for consideration, never once letting the scope of the project or the developer influence my decision. I always kept the best interests of the city and its residents in mind while keeping Novi in a defensible position. I also used these very same principles while serving on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm a past and current board member of the Novi Parks Foundation. Together, along with my colleagues, we have distributed nearly $250,000 back into the community for capital improvements in our park systems, public art, and scholarships for those in financial need, while continuing to advocate for quality parks, recreation, and cultural services. Finally, I served on City Council. Like Ms. Popard, I was appointed unanimously by the then Mayor and City Council. Although we didn't always agree on all matters, at the end of the day, we always acted on what was right for the City of Novi. I'm not running to seek fame or fortune. In fact, I donated my previous City Council income to the Novi Youth Assistance. This time, I plan on establishing a scholarship to assist Novi students in financial need as they head off to college. I'm doing this because I love Novi. I want to help move this city forward by continuing to diversify its tax base, attract new businesses and residents alike, and by maintaining or increasing all levels of public safety and services. In closing, let me say this. I have the full support and endorsement of Justin Fisher, the elected official whose seat is being filled. I have the support of Mayor Bob Gatt, former mayors Dave Landry and Matt Quinn, Mayor Pro Tem David Stout, and Councilmember Wayne Roble. I have the experience in planning, zoning, and city council that's needed as we close in on our build-out. Lastly, I have a problem, and so should you, in electing someone who does not now nor ever has paid property taxes and giving them a say on how our hard-earned tax dollars are spent. I'm Brian Burke, and I ask for your support and your vote this November 3rd. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Laura Casey, and I'm seeking re-election to Novi City Council. I've been a Novi resident for over 15 years, and like you, I believe that Novi is a great place to live and work. We're featured in national magazines and top 10 rankings, and we see new people move to Novi every day. Novi is a welcoming community that values diversity. We value education and parks and cultural activities. We take care of our neighbors. We are also a safe community with excellent public safety services. We take care of our environment, from roads, sidewalks, and other infrastructure to green space. When I moved to Novi more than 15 years ago, I didn't fully understand what a great decision I had made, and I had no idea where my journey would take me. got involved with the library in the early stages of fundraising for the new building. I was asked to apply to the library board and served over 6 years, including serving as president during the development and construction of the new library. That new library is 5 years old, and it looks as great to me today as it did when the doors first opened. As for the rest of my background, I'm a graduate of Walsh College with an MBA and an MS in management. I'm also an alumna of Michigan State University, where I graduated with a BA in American Public Affairs from the prestigious James Madison College. I have over 19 years of business experience, including positions in strategy and analysis, marketing, project management, public relations, and event management, primarily in the automotive industry. I'm an active member of City Council. I currently serve on 3 committees, and I'm the Council's liaison to the Novi Youth Council. I'm proud of what's been accomplished in the last 4 years. Working together, my colleagues on City Council and I reduced the city property tax millage rate without a reduction in city services and reduced long-term debt and employee legacy costs. We've implemented safety improvements at key traffic intersections and approved a new EMS contract, which requires faster response times. We've invested in new equipment to help the city continue to remove snow quickly during snowstorms and increased funding for neighborhood roads and sidewalks. We've acquired and developed new parkland, including the dog park and Pavilion Shore Park, and began the development of a long-term strategic plan for the city. We've worked to increase resident involvement in the city by approving the creation of the Cultural Arts Advisory Board and the Older Adults Advisory Board, and directed the establishment of the Novi Ambassador Academy to help train future leaders. We've asked the voters to make necessary updates to the city charter, which was first established in 1969, and funded the recently opened water storage facility to help reduce rates for residents. As a council member, I will remain dedicated to fiscally responsible government based on residents' priorities, to providing the best city services for all Novi residents, especially public safety, and ensuring the basics like prompt snow removal, maintaining and improving our infrastructure and mobility on roads, sidewalks, and pathways, and long-term strategy for sustainable growth and economic development. If re-elected, I will work to ensure that our police and fire services always have the funding they need to keep Novi residents and businesses safe. The city interviews residents every 2 years, and I will continue to follow your direction when setting budgets and priorities. And finally, I will continue to work with the city and my fellow council members to complete a long-term strategic plan. We need to ensure that we're not just reacting to issues today, but planning for how those issues will impact the city in the future. I've been honored to serve on City Council for the last 4 years. I believe I've made a positive difference for my fellow Novi residents, and I'm committed to Novi's ongoing success. I know that Novi has a great future ahead, and I want to be part of moving Novi forward. If you have any questions or would like to share your thoughts and ideas, you can reach me at my website at kcforcouncil.com. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your consideration on November 3rd.
Hello, my name is Tali Patel, and I'm running for City Council in Novi. Not only am I a resident of Novi, but I'm also a small business owner. I have decided to run for the City Council position because I really care about Novi and would love to be part of its future. I have lived in Novi since 2002 and noticed how much Novi has changed in these few years. My biggest concern is the safety of Novi, especially the residents and around 12 Oaks Mall and West Oaks Mall. We need to invest in public safety in order for our city to attract more residents and business owners and remain a desirable location to move to. Education is also very important. Novi can and should remain a top-class community through education and making sure all schools have the necessary resources. Also, economic growth will strengthen the community by attracting all types of businesses. As more businesses come to Novi, we will feel the impact in many other areas, such as retail, restaurant, and home values. I would be honoured to represent you as a council member on the City of Novi board. Please consider voting for me, Tali Patel, on the 3rd of November, and I thank you for your time today.
Hello, my name is Dave Stout. I'm currently Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Novi and have been honored to serve you the past 8 years on City Council. I'm seeking your support for a third 4-year term. My wife Jean and I and my children Rachel and Amber have lived in Novi for the past 22 years. I've served on our community on many capacities, and both my daughters have attended Novi Public Schools and were members of Novi Youth Council. In addition to a full-time job in the franchising industry, I'm the owner of a small business in Novi. During my time on City Council, I've worked to create a culture of cost reductions with the goal of right-sizing city government, and have been a vocal advocate of maintaining a strong fund balance to protect our city from the unknown consequences of fluctuations in property values and revenue. I've opposed efforts to impose emergency service recovery fees, also known as crash taxes, and tax collection administrative fees, a tax on taxes. Several years ago, I proposed we pass the first millage rate reduction in more than 10 years. During my 8 years on City Council, I've led the designation of the former Wall Lake Casino site as a park, created the Walkable Novi Committee, and proposed the creation of the non-motorized master plan to advocate the expansion of pathways and sidewalks throughout the city. I vigorously fought to preserve the southwest quadrant for residential development and have consistently resisted commercial development efforts there. I support the preservation of the blended fire department and proper funding for all public safety operations, always putting the safety and welfare of our residents as my highest priority. I believe that government should not answer all our needs. In Novi, I've been active in creating the nonprofit, privately funded Novi Parks Foundation and Canine Advocacy Program. Both have achieved positive results independent of adding government spending and greater tax burden. Ronald Reagan, our 40th United States President, once said, "A leader, once convinced a particular course of action is the right one, must have the determination to stick with it and be undaunted when the going gets tough." During the past 6 years, there have been tough times in Novi. During that time, I've been determined to stick to a solid course of action, but there's an effort underway to attack and undermine the core principles I hold sacred: lowering taxes, cutting spending, and operating a smaller, more efficient city government. I need your help. As I seek re-election to another 4-year term on City Council, I offer you the proven experience, conservative values, leadership, and vision that can't be matched by other candidates vying for an important council seat. If re-elected to another term, I will continue my efforts to right-size Novi City government and operate within the existing revenue sources. I have not and will not support operating fund millage increases during my term on City Council, and do not support the use of fund balances for paying for operations. I will continue to seek opportunities to reduce our millage rate and lower taxes for our residents and businesses. We must continue to maintain a strong and diverse tax base. This is accomplished by supporting our city's commitment to economic development and keeping the master plan current and reflective of the state of the community, while continuing to be cautious in regard to residential and retail development that is not consistent with our master plan. In addition, we must assist our growing senior population to live more independent and fulfilling lives. This can be accomplished by improving transportation services, increasing activity opportunities, supporting increased activity space, improving facilities, and encouraging program participation and healthy lifestyle choices. Over the years, my strong leadership skills have not gone unnoticed, as demonstrated by numerous endorsements from conservative elected officials, including Congressman David Trott, Oakland County Executive L. Brooks Patterson, State Senator Mike Kowal, State Representative Kathy Crawford, Oakland County Commissioner Hugh Crawford, and our Novi Mayor Bob Gadd. Their support is deeply appreciated, but I need your vote to return to City Council. Please cast your vote for Dave Stout on November 3rd. It will be a vote for continuing the positive direction a community consistently recognized as one of the best in the country. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Sarpolis. I'm running for your City Council here in Novi. I'm a committed volunteer and an advocate for the city's neighborhoods. In my time in Novi, I've been dedicated to the service of our citizens. I was appointed to the Beautification Commission, where I helped oversee a $25,000 grant program. I'm a board member of Sustainable Novi, a lifelong Michigander, and an Eagle Scout. Today I'm asking for your vote this November. I'm asking for it because we have a great city here in Novi. I unequivocally believe that this is one of the best places to live in America, possibly the world. We have fantastic schools, great public parks, and countless city services that are reliable and efficient. And even though we are already great, I am a firm believer that our community's best days are still ahead of us. Novi is a growing community. In the last 2 decades, we've added 20,000 people to the city's population. It's truly a testament to the incredible brand we have all worked so hard to build. Such growth also brings challenges, though. The decisions that are made today about development will affect us for decades, perhaps centuries. I am a supporter of balanced growth. That means responsibly developing our community so that our legacy is preserved. In the last few years, housing density has been increased and our natural resources policy has been put on the sidelines. We are chopping down quality woodlands at an incredible pace to make new room for houses and packing those houses more tightly together than was originally laid out in our community's master plan. I strongly believe that the reason people moved here is because of the city's unique character. If you look from an aerial view, you can see bands of green running along the backyards of our homes. This was purposely planned by former councils which had the vision to see that access to nature was a key aspect of what makes Novi a great city with quality homes. They wanted to maximize the enjoyment of our natural resources and allow development to work with the city's unique features, not replace those features. If I am elected to council, I will make sure we uphold the principles of our community's master plan and our city's stated natural resources policy. I will do it because I will keep our home values strong and distinguish us among the dozens of communities in southeastern Michigan. I will also work to increase transparency and accountability. The citizens of our city have been left on the sidelines when it comes to being informed about big decisions. While some decisions are publicized, many quietly slip under the radar. That's simply not right. I will work to ensure any large decisions from tax abatements to trash hauling go through a thorough public process and that the result is what citizens want to see. I will demand that our roads get more attention. We approve new developments without ever addressing the concerns about traffic. This situation is reaching critical levels on the western side of the city. Many roads are becoming gridlocked during rush hour, trapping residents inside their neighborhoods. The condition of our neighborhood roads is also abysmal. We cannot afford to continuously employ stopgap measures to temporarily fix our roads. We need a solution, and it's something that needs to be taken very seriously. I will make roads a top priority if I am elected. I will make sure that our neighborhoods, regardless of age, receive proper attention. Our city is an excellent place to live, and continuing to build on our vision is critical. Responsible government is key to preserving our way of life. Your vote ensures that our government continues to work for you, the citizen. As a councilman, I will be accessible. I will implement coffee hours and get out in the neighborhoods and talk to residents. My campaign is indicative of my leadership style. I've already broken records by talking with more voters before this election than any other member in recent council history. I will continue that tradition in office and make sure your voice is heard. The voters have a clear choice in November. It is more critical than ever that we have good elected officials in office. With your support, we can look back on this community in 20 years and enthusiastically proclaim that we are even better than we are today. I hope to be a part of that leadership, and with your vote in November, we can make it happen. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wayne Roble, and I have had the honor and privilege of serving the residents of Novi as a member of City Council for the past 5 years. It is very important to me that Novi remains an attractive and vital city to families and businesses. Therefore, I've decided to run for a second term on City Council. During my 5 years on City Council, I've successfully worked to improve both Novi's financial viability and quality of life. These improvements include lowering the city property tax millage rate to 10.2% without any city service cutbacks. How many other communities in Metro Detroit can say they reduce taxes? Governing Novi in a fiscally conservative manner, the city currently has a general fund reserve of $8.6 million, which is equal to 28% of the entire general fund budget. This places Novi in a healthy position to deal with any unexpected expenses. Implementing policies that reduce the city's long-term debt by 33%. Increasing the money spent to repair neighborhood roads. Improving existing park facilities, including Pavilion Shore, Lakeshore, and ITC parks to make them more user-friendly. Adding additional parkland to keep up with a growing city with diverse interests. These include Villa Bar Art Park and a dog park. Building a 1.5 million gallon water storage facility on 12 Mile Road This facility will save an estimated $1.7 million annually in water fees and help moderate future water rate increases. And I was proud to initiate a new city policy reducing, or in some cases eliminating entirely, senior citizen transportation fees. I believe the past 5 years have been great years for Novi, but the true measure of how Novi is doing is by what its residents think about the city. I'm proud to say in the most recent citizen survey, 98% of those who responded rated Novi as an excellent or good place to live. As much has been accomplished during the past 5 years, there is much more to be done in the future if Novi is to remain a destination city. To accomplish this, Novi must maintain or exceed current levels of all city services, including police and fire services. Increase levels of funding to repair and maintain neighborhood roads in a timely manner. Attract new and quality sustainable economic development, as well as retaining existing businesses to help maintain the city's stable and balanced tax base. Expand senior citizen program and facilities. Continue to improve existing park facilities, as well as adding additional parkland and extending the current trail system. Fiscal policies implemented by Novi are also important to its long-term success. I believe it is important that city government be run like a business, maximizing the value received on each tax dollar spent. Also, City Council needs to continue demonstrating fiscal responsibility by increasing the general fund reserve balance. And finally, not impose any new taxes or fees on homeowners or businesses. My track record as a City Council member, as well as the 6 years I served on the Planning Commission and the 4 years each I served on the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Master Plan and Zoning Committee, has provided me with the necessary experience, knowledge, expertise, and commitment needed to make the difficult decisions City Council members face. I encourage you to find out more about me by going to my website, wayneroble.com. I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd to return me to the Novi City Council, where I will work to ensure Novi remains a place that we are all proud to call home.